You ever see a shadow from a tree or a chimney slowly creep across your solar panels and just kind of wonder, what is that really doing? Well, it's doing a lot more than you might think. Today, we're going to break down what's known as the shade problem. And trust me, getting this one concept is absolutely critical, not just for your power output, but for the safety of your entire solar setup.
I know, it sounds kind of crazy, right? How can one little patch of shade cause such a massive problem for the whole system? Well, the answer is all wrapped up in a fundamental rule of electricity that pretty much all solar installations have to follow. So let's dive in and figure this out. Okay, first things first. To really get our heads around the shade problem, we have to talk about something called the weakest link rule. And it all comes down to the way solar panels are usually wired up.
So most solar arrays on homes connect their panels in what's called a series circuit. The best way to picture this? Think of it like a one-lane highway. All the traffic, in this case our electrical current, has to flow through every single car or every single panel, one right after the other. There's no passing lane, no alternate routes, just one single file line.
Now, here is the simple bit of math that governs that one-lane highway. The total current for the entire string of panels, that's the I string you see here, is limited by the current of the lowest producing panel in that line. That's it. That one little rule is the key to this entire puzzle.
So let's put that in plain English. It doesn't matter if all your other panels are soaking up the sun and working perfectly. If just one panel's output drops because of a little shade, it basically creates a massive traffic jam. The current for the entire string gets dragged down to match that one single underperforming panel. It is quite literally a weakest link system.
All right, so let's see what this looks like with some real numbers. We're going to compare a standard series setup against a parallel one to see just how dramatic this whole shade effect can be. So, picture a small setup, 4 panels. On a perfect sunny day, each one is cranking out 8 amps at 40 volts. In our series circuit, the voltages all add up, so we get 160 volts total. Multiply that by the 8 amps of current, and boom, you've got a very respectable 1,280 watts. That's our perfect world baseline.
Okay, now let's introduce our villain, a shadow. Let's say a tree branch covers just a part of one panel. Its production just tanks, plummeting from 8 amps all the way down to 2 amps. Now remember, the other 3 panels are still in full sun, doing their job perfectly. So what happens to our 1,280 watts?
Wow, the results are pretty shocking. Take a look at the series setup. The weakest link rule kicked in, and the entire string's current was choked down to just 2 amps, the output of that one shaded panel. Our total power absolutely crashed, from over 1,200 watts down to just 320. Now look at the parallel setup for comparison. Because each panel contributes its current independently, the total power is still over 1,000 watts. The difference is just staggering. Let's really put that into perspective. That one shadow caused a massive 75% drop in our power. A 75% drop. We went from an expected 1,280 watts all the way down to 320. This right here, this is the shade problem in action, and it's exactly why understanding your system's wiring is so important.
But, losing a ton of power is bad enough. But this isn't just about efficiency. A shaded panel and a series string can create some real and honestly pretty dangerous problems for your system. We're moving beyond just losing power and into potential safety issues.
See, when the rest of the string tries to force more current through that shaded panel than it can produce, that panel basically turns into a resistor. It starts to get really hot, creating what are called hot spots. This can also cause weird voltage spikes that can damage your really expensive equipment, like your inverter. And over time, all that stress just shortens the lifespan of your entire system. And the risk from these hotspots is no joke. All that energy gets trapped and turns into intense, focused heat. We're talking temperatures that are high enough to physically damage the panel itself, to melt wiring, and, in a worst-case scenario, to actually become a fire hazard right there on your roof.
Okay, so after hearing all that, you're probably asking, so what can I do about it? Well, the good news is you're not helpless. With some smart design and the right safety measures, you can absolutely mitigate these risks and protect your investment.
So, here's your plan. First, you have to know how your system is wired. Is it series? Parallel? Number 2, make sure your panels have bypass diodes. Most modern panels do, and they're crucial because they give the current a little detour around a shaded cell, which helps prevent those hotspots. 3, proper fusing. This is non-negotiable.
Every single string needs its own fuse to protect against electrical faults. 4. Keep an eye on your monitoring system. If you see a big, sudden drop in current that you can't explain, that's a huge red flag. And number 5, and this is the most important one, when in doubt, call a professional. Seriously.
And I really have to stress this point. Everything we've talked about today is for you to be informed, for you to understand your system better. This is not a DIY guide. Electrical work is incredibly dangerous. Please always, always consult a qualified, certified professional before you ever try to change anything with your solar installation. Your safety is number one. So, the next time you see a shadow creeping across your solar panels, don't just see a little bit of lost power. See a complex electrical system that's being put under stress. Your solar array is a chain of components all working together, and that leaves you with one simple question to ask yourself. Is its weakest link protected?